We're at Dell Tech World 2026 covering everything that's new out of Dell Technologies. There's a lot of great stuff, and we're going to break all the best of Dell Tech World down for you here in just a second. But there's another surprise, and that is this. We were awarded the Guinness Book of World Records pi calculation at 314 trillion, the longest ever calculation of pi, which was done in partnership with Dell, Micron, and AMD. So we're really proud of that. We just won this award at the event, and we're super excited about that. But let's get into what's next coming from Dell, because that's what matters when it comes to generating the next set of workloads and amazing opportunities for your data center. This is a bit unusual for Dell. They're showing off what they're calling a concept platform. And this one's pretty neat because it really embraces the move to liquid cooling in the data center. If I pull off the bezel here, what you'll see is this thing is 100% direct liquid cooled, including the drives. If you look real close at these little spacers between each of the SSDs, those are cold plates that lets the heat from the drives go into the liquid cooling system and then extract that heat from the entire rack. They've got the network connections and the management in the front in that module, which is a little bit different from a traditional PowerEdge 2. And if we spin it around, we can see this is designed for bus bar power with the DC in the middle, and then of course your quick disconnect inlet and egress for the liquid cooling loop. So this is really interesting. It shows a little peek at what Dell's thinking about in terms of next-gen liquid-cooled PowerEdge. The cold plates is really innovative. We're excited to see this and wonder what it'll look like when it's finally productized. Dell's also previewing 18th Gen PowerEdge, and this is really interesting. Now, we're a little light on details because the CPUs that this supports aren't out yet. Those will come later this summer from AMD and then afterwards from Intel. They're showing this one in a preview, though. This is the R9815 AMD-based system, and this is where it gets kind of curious. This looks like a 2U server, and legally speaking it is, but it's really a 1U server and a 2U body, if that makes any sense. So if we take a look at the front here, you'll notice that the top half is completely blanked out. Then we've got the E3S drive bays. But if we take the lid off, I will show you inside here. Now, there's not a ton to see, but there are some important distinctions. First of all, it says draft only on the top, so we know that that's a development system. But inside, there's no board. The board will sit down here, and then we see there's the power supplies on either side and the risers in the middle. But the top is going to remain unblocked, so there's not going to be anything up here. These aren't for more risers. That's going to be for more airflow. So as it comes across the front of the system, we'll have a heat sink here on the AMD CPU in this system, but it'll leave a lot more airflow through this system. And really, customers aren't struggling with density in terms of rack density anymore. They're struggling with things like power management and cooling. So going to a larger platform gives them the ability to drag more cooling across the system with the larger fans. And actually, this will be kind of nice to operate in because these 2U fans are much quieter than the little 1U guys. So Dell's saying with the 18th Gen that 1U servers are just not quite as in demand by their customers anymore, and so this platform will make more sense. And you could guess, I don't think we've seen one here yet, but a traditional 2U server going to 3U to take advantage of that extra little bit of height for cooling. We're at another stand at Dell Tech World taking a look at the R770. That's not new, we've reviewed that before. Great little system, but what they're showing here with these two GPUs is a little bit different. This is the RTX Pro 6000. We've done a lot of work with this. We've got 4 of them in the lab and a 7740 right now doing some great work there. But Dell wants to tell you about this guy too. This is the RTX Pro 4500. The single width density is a big advantage for 2U servers like this, where it's a little more space constrained. In the bigger 7740, we've got plenty of room where the RTX Pro 6000s do really well, but these single width guys give you much more flexibility. They take a ton less power, and they're way more affordable. Now, they do have a third of the graphics memory, so this guy's got 32 gig versus the 96 in the RTX Pro 6000. But for smaller inference jobs or workloads that are just don't benefit from the larger memory footprint, this 4500 is going to sell a lot of units. So again, Dell's just showing silicon diversity here, GPU diversity. They've got to stand around the corner with the new AMD Edge card. We'll take a look at that as well. But a lot of choices for customers that want to configure their workloads and their hardware to be well aligned. This system is one that's got everyone very excited. And it's a little bit hard to see exactly what we're looking at, so I'll do my best to articulate it. But in the bottom here, there's a sled, and that's pulled out on top. This is the HGX 8 system with 288 gigabytes of VRAM HBM4 in each one of these GPUs. This is the Rubin Silicon, and this is what's coming next for large GPU systems. Now, obviously, this entire platform's liquid cooled, so you can see all the quick disconnects for the GPUs, but that goes all the way through the entire system. One of the neat things is we can't see all of it, but underneath this manifold, there are 4 NVLink 6 switches that are bridging the GPUs together, helping access that memory across the GPUs. To scale out, we've got ConnectX-9 in the front, 1.6 terabits each for these 8 connections. So the architecture of this thing is amazingly dense, and for the next generation of GPU servers, this thing's totally wild. Like I said, liquid cooled throughout on this entire platform. Now, that's just the bottom board of this system. On the top, there's a whole nother set of flexibility that goes on there. And that's a compute board that can be powered by NVIDIA, AMD, or Intel. We've got one of the We've got one of the NVIDIA boards here. This is the Vera, and amazingly dense platform. Like I said, this will be the control board for those that want an NVIDIA stack top to bottom. Also AMD and Intel solutions. So this guy will sit towards the back. And then in the front, as you can see here, we've got connectivity, we've got SSDs, and we've got management boards. So each one of those is individual. So this is the Bluefield 4, which is going to be critical for KV cache offload, a lot of those popular tasks where you want high-speed access to storage. There is a little bit of storage on board. This will be a liquid-cooled board here for your E1S drives in the front here. And then, like I said, the third board for management. But overall, this is what the next generation of GPU servers is going to look like. This is the first time we've really gotten a deep look at the HGX 8 in a near production body. This is very cool and coming soon to a data center near you. This is one of the cooler demos at Dell Tech World, and I can't believe I'm actually interacting with a little robot here. This is G1, and if I ask him, he's going to walk me through a demo of this autonomous data center that...
It sounds like you're looking for more information about some exciting demos
I'm not ready
at Dell
yet.
Tech World. What would you like to know more about?
G1, I'd like to get you to walk me through the demo of the autonomous data center.
Let me walk you through the autonomous data center demo here at Dell Tech World 2026, highlighting the collaboration between Dell, AMD, and Broadcom. Inside this booth, we have a live server rack, autonomous drones, and a Unitree Go-To robot. The demo showcases how these technologies work together to handle faults seamlessly. We run through 2 scenarios. The first is a network fault where a cable on the Dell power switch becomes partially unseated. The Broadcom Silicon detects packet drops, prompting the infra agent to dispatch a drone for a visual inspection. Once confirmed, the system autonomously reroutes traffic without human intervention, creating a ServiceNow ticket for record keeping. The second scenario involves a CPU server configuration fault. After an OS patch, the Dell PowerEdge server's BIOS settings revert to defaults, leading to throttling of the AMD EPYC CPU. This time, the infra agent identifies and corrects the issue through telemetry, maintaining system performance and again creating a ServiceNow ticket, without any need for human action. Both scenarios demonstrate how these technologies work autonomously to ensure zero downtime and no human pages throughout the process.
So I got the little demo from G1, but I brought in Mohan One to walk me through this a little bit more. This autonomous data center notion is pretty interesting, and this is the first time I think I've seen Dell show this at this scale.
That's right. I mean, we're looking at something which is the art of the possible, realistically.
Okay.
Right? We're looking at how would customers in the future, especially as AI becomes more relevant and more interesting, be able to manage these remote data centers, these large data centers, easily with reducing the workload on people, so they can go do more interesting things. One of the things we're looking at, for example, is in a scenario like here, there are always going to be cases where you need eyes on the hardware. So we have come up with a scenario, okay, if you need eyes on the hardware, we have an agentic approach where if you're looking at all the logs, you understand, okay, there's a scenario like, for example, there's a loose cable as one of the options. How do I know that? Do I go send a person, go try to figure it out? Or can I have an alternate mechanism of doing that?
And so that's the drone bit that we see behind us.
That's the drone bit behind.
That you could have an alert that surfaces through iDRAC or OpenManage or something.
Correct.
Any of the devices that
Any of
report
the
this
devices,
stuff.
yes. These are pretty intricate, right? These drones are autonomous, they're navigating inside a data center, there's no
Right.
GPS here, and they're fully controlled by the AI ecosystem. It's an agentic tool call
Right.
where the drones are a tool for your agent.
So they're automated based on
Yes.
the telemetry data bubbled up from the systems in the data center, and then they're deployed. And as G1 tells me, then they can actually integrate with ServiceNow or other applications to create a ticket, so that you're deploying a tech to go do the repair instead of having to go look at the diagnostics.
Exactly. So we're going past the initial diagnostics, and we're also having, the application that our partners here have put together can also do maybe automated routing, rerouting, so traffic is not impacted, can try to mitigate it to some extent, and so that your data center tech is not having to get up in the middle of the night and rush to the data center in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
They can wait till the morning and go, it's okay, I can come in and make that one repair.
So with the automation of identifying the problems, now when your tech comes in for the next shift, you could also prioritize those as well.
Absolutely. There are a large number of scenarios where it's easier for people to do it. You can do deployments at scale in large data centers. You can prioritize workflow. You can simplify and automate the initial creation of these tickets significantly.
Right.
All these are advantages for any data center operator.
And so that's with the drones. Now, G1 and the little dog fellow over here, tell me about them and how they would
Yeah.
fit into this.
I mean, in a scenario where we're looking at the future, right? Now a drone cannot go pull a drive or actually go fix it.
Not yet, but
Not yet.
I've seen some pretty advanced drones.
But at the end of the day, the fidelity you need and dexterity you need usually is better with, say, a humanoid robot. Right?
Okay.
We can imagine where the drones are going to be faster. They zip through, identify the issue. We could have a robot like this eventually go down and actually do the repair, replace a drive, pull out a cable or plug in a cable.
Right.
Those are things I can see this doing. A dog like this, a robotic dog, could be at the security checking, looking for leaks in a liquid-cooled data center.
Okay.
Right? Looking for people who are going to areas where they should not be going, and doing additional tracking.
Well, the one thing that these two aren't going to care about is noise, heat,
Yes, of
humidity, all the things in the data
Oh,
center
yes.
that make it sometimes miserable to be in.
And we have talked about customers today. Yesterday, actually, we had some customers come by. It was like, if I'm in the middle of nowhere, getting people there takes a lot of time and effort. Or if I'm on the air side of an airport, it's all the security checks. Sometimes I just
sure.
need to get eyes on that thing. So, be it a drone, a robot, or a robotic dog, all these are tools that can be used to improve the lives of our data center operators. Right? That's the key part.
And you're showing a lot of future tech at the event today. I mean, not just this, because this is kind of fun and engaging, and
Yeah.
you're getting a ton of eyeballs on it, because people
right.
see all the activity and
That's
are having a
right.
good time with it. But you're showing next-gen servers, you're showing next-gen GPUs, and all those rigs. It's pretty amazing.
Glad you
here.
bring it up, and that's the key part, right? So all of this, I mean, this is all futuristic view,
Right.
but what is actually running is all current. All of this technology is running off existing MI350P GPUs, the AMD new PCI GPUs that just
Right.
talked about, and it doesn't take a lot. It's all running on-prem on 1 or 2 PCI GPUs in a server running behind here.
Right, so that's actually interesting too, because the AMD MI350P, right?
Correct.
Just launched last week.
That's right.
You guys immediately launched support for it.
That's right.
And now, this has got to be one of the first public projects
I
running
believe
on
it
those
is
on
the
those
first
GPUs.
public
Yeah.
public use case running on it. Now, of course, we aren't shipping it yet.
Right.
This is a preview of what's possible.
And those cards are going to be wildly successful. I think in
so.
like the 7745, for instance, you can now go AMD through the whole stack, and
right.
you've got the edge accelerators that you can, I guess, tune them for what you need as a customer, right? How in terms of how many you slot in.
I mean, it's not just that, right? So AMD brings a whole ecosystem, their ROCm open ecosystem. So from a customer point of view, I think there's a lot of advantages that come in that whole area.
Right.
Especially with the open ecosystem, making it cost effective, given the cost of everything that we have. Right?
I mean, that's the real thing. And I know, you're talking about ROCm. Devansh is excited because the ROCm support has gotten so mature at this point, and to just give customers more options. And
Always.
Dell's been pounding that drum for at least the last year or two.
I mean, we've been talking about diversity of suppliers for ages, right? It's
Right.
not just now. And we've been talking about having open ecosystems for ages, because Dell likes supporting multiple vendors and supporting the open ecosystem, where we've been talking about, be it Red Hat, SUSE, or even Ubuntu over many years on servers.
And so now we're running inference on AMD, and that's an exciting demo here, and I know this will continue to be popular for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, sir. If we've learned anything about Dell Tech World, is that one dancing robot will capture several thousand people's attention. We showed you some of our favorite things of what's new from Dell Tech World. We didn't get into PowerStore in this video because we've got a long form of that. If you want to see the most revolutionary change in enterprise storage in the last decade, the PowerStore Gen 3 is a fantastic video. We'll link to that in the description. As always, Dell Tech World's a phenomenal event. We look forward to it every single year, and you better bet we'll be in Vegas this time next year for Dell Tech World 2027.